everyone, we are gonna exchange the power supply of our desktop computer today. It's a Dell Optiplex 990, I think, and we already got a new power supply. So what was happening is that the computer just died a couple days ago, and the power button was flashing with an orange light, and we think it's probably the power supply that is not working anymore. So we got a new one, and we're gonna replace the old one and hopefully get the computer working again. So stay tuned. So this is Julian here, and that is his computer. We unplugged it, and the new power supply is on the right hand side here. We hope it's the right model. Julian, can you open the computer and then
kind of hard. I feel like I'm gonna rip it off.
Yeah, I think you have to pull that
Up?
a little bit more, yeah, and then move it. I forget in which direction. Okay, let me help you. Handle, and you got it. There we go. So this is the old power supply down here. The model number is, I believe, let's look at that, H240AS-00. There's another number here. So we'll take this one out now. Of things connected to the power supply, we're gonna take the optical drive connection, power connection, and SATA connection off here, and then pull this to the left and take out the optical drive. Next, we're gonna take this whole hard drive cage out. There's this blue lock here, and if you slide this to the left, the cage comes out pretty easily. Set that to the side. Then there's this little holder that comes out easily, and we now have to unscrew these screws here in the back to loosen the power supply from the case. So Julian is gonna unscrew those 3 screws with a Phillips screwdriver, and it's a bit hard. Yeah, you have to push it a bit, Julian. So we'll be right back. Okay, 1 screw's out, and 2 are out already, so 1 more, Julian. Okay, we got the screws out from the power supply, and there's a couple additional cables that we need to disconnect. Next, we're gonna disconnect this yellow and black cable from the motherboard here. So
I have to go up.
Wait.
Because it was like...
You got it's kind of secure clip here to kind of loosen this clip in the front a little bit, and it comes right out.
Wow.
And see, this goes in the power supply, Julian, so this one is now disconnected also. Here's the hard drive. It's a solid state drive, which is not the original drive, which was the traditional one. I replaced this a few years ago, so we're going to disconnect that also. This is the power connector. Can you take that out, Julian? This power connector from the hard drive. Just pull it out. No, just the connector here.
Oh.
Yeah, that one is one. Needs to come out, and the other one is the power. Also needs to come out. That's probably a bit tighter. Good job. So we have the hard drive here. We're gonna be careful with that and set it aside. Okay, good. Hard drive disconnected. Now there's this main motherboard connector down here, and that's a secure clip. So we have to probably use a little screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, to unlock this here and get the connector disconnected from the motherboard. Okay, so this connector here.
That white thing.
We need to loosen here this clip a little bit, and then...
Maybe you should just hand pull it. Because it might be a bad idea.
Yeah. if I can get that out here. It's still a bit tight. Connected the power supply cables from the computer completely, and now we're ready to take the old power supply out. There's a little secure tab here. Once you press this down, can you see this here with a little blue color on it? When you press this down, the power supply comes loose right away, and you can slide it a little bit to the left and then take it out. Can you help me a bit? Oh, gotta open this here, make it a bit easier. And
That's the white
take it out like that. So that's the old one. We're gonna discard. So those are the two power supplies. Left is the old one, right the new one. They look pretty much the same. Slightly different here. You can see that LED on the new one is to the left, and in the old one it's to the right. But it's the same model number, so hopefully that's all gonna work once we have replaced it. Those are all the cables from the new power supply. I'm gonna take off this rubber band and then put it back in and do all the steps in reverse order. Okay, we just got a phone call, so we'll take a little break. Now we're back. So the this is the new power supply. It's already where it needs to go, and it clicks right in with this lockdown here again, and we are gonna secure the power supply to the case again. Julian, can you put the screws back in?
Okay.
Here's the screw.
How are we gonna screw it up?
There we go, and we'll secure it again, and then we'll be right back. Okay, the screws will go right back in. Julian's gonna do that with the Phillips screwdriver, and then we can also put this latch back where it was before, and then we are ready to reconnect the power supply cables to the motherboard. Our connections again. First, this main connection to the motherboard goes back in until this clicks. Okay, so this is back in and secure. Next, we put this drive cage in here again. Kind of goes into these two notches here on the one side, and you have to kind of get the cables out of the way, Julian. So we gotta make sure we're gonna not damage those. And once that's in, this lock can go. Make sure it's in all the way, and then we'll lock this again like that way. You guys remember this yellow and black cable? This goes again back into the
that white thing
connector
here.
down here. It's hard to see, and that clicks in and locks. So we just have to make sure the cables goes somewhere.
Here.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah, so that's all connected. Next, I think we can put the optical drive back in to this spot here. Make sure it goes nicely, smoothly, and clicks in. That's it. And
the hard drive go near here?
yeah, the hard drive is over there. That we'll put that next, but let's just reconnect the optical drive first.
Yeah.
Now we put all the other cables back where they belong in reverse order. We're not gonna go through that in detail, but make sure you have the SATA connections back in the optical drive, and the hard drive, and all the power cables back connected that you took off originally. The lid back on, the slides down here into here, these three grooves at the bottom, and just gently Close the lid. There we go. And I think we're ready to try this out and see if it works. So I think the computer is back to its original spot, and we have to reconnect the power cable and see if it turns on. Connect all the other cables let's afterwards. See what's happening. See if it's gonna turn on now. It looks like
it looks like it's gonna turn on.
It's at least not making this flash orange flash signal anymore. It looks like it's starting up again.
You have to do it like right after.
So far we have only connected the power on the monitor, so still have to connect everything else to the computer, but just checking if it works.
Looks like it's gonna work. It takes quite a long time. Maybe like 10 seconds. Oh, I never saw that before. The microphone.
Well, it's looks like it's going through its boot sequence. Okay, it went through maybe like a self-check and sequence that was a bit unusual, but it booted relatively quickly into Windows 10 again, and you can't really use it because the mouse and the keyboards are not connected. We'll do that next, but thanks everyone for watching. Hope this was useful, and talk to you next time. Hi Julian. Are you happy it works again?
Yeah.
So what you gonna do? Play some Roblox?
Yeah, I'm dressed up as a demon, but my...
Okay, give me a thumbs up then. Good job.